How's everybody doing today? Today I just want to go over a little bit on picture boxes, how to get them into your project, how to use them. What I have already is I have a project set up. It has a blank form. In order to do this, you need to have some pictures on your computer and you need to know where they are. I've got a folder on my desktop which I'm going to utilize for that. So I want a picture box, so I'm going to go down here. I find a picture box, I drag it out. Once I get it on my form, I can make it as big or small as I want. Once I get the picture box on here, I can go over to its properties. The image property for us is probably the most important property of a picture box because that's what allows us to determine what picture we want associated with this picture box. I'm going to go over here and click on that property, and then I get three dots. I'm going to click on the three dots. I get a window. Now what I always want to do is I want to import the picture into my project. What that does is it makes it a permanent part of my project, so the picture goes along with my project. So I want to make sure this radio button is clicked on. I'm going to click on import, and now I just have to go find where my picture is. I know I put it on the desktop and I know I put it in this folder, so I'm going to double click on that. I see I've got a few different pictures here. My favorite is the Jag, so I'm going to bring in the picture of the Jag. I hit open. It comes in. I hit OK. What's going to happen is I do see it up here, but it is only a corner of the picture. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have the whole picture fit into the box. Another real important property for us is size mode. Size mode by default is normal. If I go down here, I want to use stretch image. What stretch image does is it pretty much just makes the picture fit into whatever size picture box I have. So it took this picture and it resized it to fit into the box. Another thing I just want to show you over here in my Solutions Explorer, since I added this picture to my project, it automatically did two things. It created a resources folder for me and it put this picture in there. Okay, so now I've got a picture box. What can I do with it? Well, for your homework, one thing that you need to do is have it interact with a label. I'm going to bring out a label here, and I'm just going to call my label LBL display. And let's say I wanted something to display in this label when I click on the picture box. Remember, with a button we can double click on the button and add code behind it. In Visual Basic you can add code behind almost any control. If I double click on the picture, what I get is I get a code window. Picture box 1-click means, hey, when somebody clicks on this picture box, something's going to happen. What I want to happen is I wanted to put something in that label. So I'm going to say LBL. One thing I also want to point out is this autocomplete here. You don't have to do a lot of typing in Visual Basic if you don't want to. As soon as you type LBL, it'll display all your labels, assuming you prefix them with LBL. Whenever I want to accept what's down here, I just hit the Tab key. So if I just hit Tab, it fills it in for me. I know I have to do LBL display.text equals something. I'm just going to put in quotes Jag. So now if I say alright, I want to try to go ahead and run this. I hit run. It comes up. I click on the picture. It says Jag. I'm good to go. Pretty much what you have to do for homework is just a little bit of an extension of that. Got to get 3 pictures, 3 different labels, but for the most part that should give you what you need. Thanks. Hopefully this was helpful to you. We'll see you next time.